Hey Tony, it's Thursday, and first off, to answer your question of the week, I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately. I've also been playing some Dragon Age Inquisition, some Bannerlord, because Bannerlord works really well when I'm watching sports, and that's pretty much it. I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Black Flag the other day, but it had been a while since I'd played that. I haven't had a ton of time to really play video games lately, with work and stuff at home, and just a lot's been happening, and I haven't really had a good chance to sit down and game. But I'm hoping that maybe this weekend I might be able to play some Risk of Rain 2 with Aaron, one of who you know and is one of Taylor and I's best and longest friends. But we'll end up seeing we'll see what happens. So this week itself, especially after the insanity of last week, this week was also pretty interesting, involving the impeachment. But I don't really want to talk politics right now because
Shocking! Oh my god!
What?
Josh doesn't want to talk politics!
Oh, I thought something important happened.
I mean, it's unusual for me to not want to talk politics, but I don't really want to talk politics, so I'll talk about one of my other things that I really like, sports.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be sports.
It's going to be sports. So, sports-wise, this week was awesome. So, the Browns played last Sunday in their first playoff game since 2002. You were 5 years old the last time they played in the playoffs, Tony, and I was 10, which is still kind of wild to me. And the entire universe was really against the Browns there. Half their team was out with COVID, including four of their coaches, including their head coach. They were playing against a team that has stomped them year in, year out since they came back into the league at their place, and only being able to practice one day in a 3-week time period. And somehow, by the grace of the football gods, the Browns stomped Pittsburgh. Oh, I was living that entire game. So, in the first quarter, the Browns broke the record in the Super Bowl era for most points scored in a quarter, which was super cool. And it was just, it was an incredible, incredible experience. I've been a Browns fan almost my entire life. I might have said when I was in second grade that I was a Patriots fan, but that was, I was rooting for the team that won, and that was the team that won. But since I actually really started getting into football, I've been a Browns fan. Mom and Dad have been Browns fans for years and years, and painful, painful years. And all of that seemed to be exercised this past week. I didn't even know how to respond after the game other than just pure joy. Now they have a really tough challenge this coming week, playing arguably the best team in the league, and with arguably one of the best offenses in the history of football. Now, it's going to be a tough game. I don't have high hopes for the Browns, but I'm okay with that because I didn't have high hopes for them in the playoffs, and they won that first game, which is incredible, and it was huge for the city of Cleveland. Again, I don't think the Browns are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the best team in the league, but they might. And that's something that I haven't had for years, of just going into a game saying, you know what, we might not win, but we probably won't win, but we might. And that's kind of cool. In other sports news, hockey started this week, which Justice is very excited about, and I don't blame him. Hockey is his sport. Him and I had a really good time watching the games yesterday. Watching a game yesterday, it was a really good game too. It was Toronto versus Montreal, and that game was neck and neck the entire game. It ended up going into overtime, where Toronto ended up pulling out the win, and it was fun to watch. It was really nice to have hockey back. And currently, the Red Wings are playing Carolina, and the Red Wings have been Justice's favorite team for his entire life. So I'll be watching that tonight at some point. I have a meeting. I have a board of directors meeting for AmpGuard tonight, so that's gonna take up most of my time tonight. But as soon as it's over, I get to watch hockey, which will be great. In some less positive news, though, the Cleveland Indians ended up trading one of their best players, and they traded one of the hearts and souls of the team. And I'm talking about two separate players here. So one of their best players, they traded Francisco Lindor, who was their shortstop, great player, arguably the best shortstop in the league. they traded him to the New York Mets for not a whole lot in return, but it's a business, and the owner of the Indians is cheap. There's no other way to say it. He's cheap. He doesn't have much money, and he has never really invested in bringing big names in or even re-signing local homegrown talent. It's been hard, but the one that really hurt me the most was, along with that trade, the Indians traded Carlos Carrasco, who has been one of the best pitchers in the league for a long time and has been just the heart and soul of Cleveland. Like, you want to talk about a player who just loved the city he was in, loved the team, and loved everything about it. It was him. And not only that, he came back from so much. Carlos Carrasco was diagnosed with leukemia a couple of years back, missed the entire season because of that. Ended up actually taking a hometown discount to stay in Cleveland, and he was someone who I was really hoping would be a Cleveland Indian for the rest of his career. He was fun, he was talented, and he was just a great person in that locker room. And the Indians traded him off, and that hurt, because this is a guy who's given a lot for the team, and the cheap owners just traded him. I can't say much about that other than I was disappointed. Lindor I expected. Lindor I didn't mind because I knew they were going to trade him. They weren't going to be able to re-sign him, and you know what? I was okay with that. But losing Cookie really hurt because that guy was, in part, what I think of with Cleveland. Someone who fights hard, does whatever he can. There we go. Loves the city he lives in, and was just a tough blue-collar guy and an immigrant. And I'm really sad to see him go. But Tony, my question for you is, what was the last sporting event you actually watched? Tony, I'll see you on Monday. Later, bro.